Hello everyone. In our today's video, we're gonna create a beautiful portfolio using Nextjs 13. So what we're gonna have in this portfolio, we're gonna have a banner portion where you can have your image, the profile image, then your name and other description. Then we're gonna have that about me portion. As you see, once you hover, it's gonna just giving a little bit design portion over here, and you're gonna have your portion about you, what you have been done and what you can do also, kind of things you are looking for. Then you're gonna have your experience portion, and in that section you're gonna describe your experience in that field. Like, I'm a developer, so everything related to development. Maybe you have some other purpose also. Now in the skill set section, as you see, everything related to my things is just added over here. If we click, it's gonna take to that link. So anybody, maybe you have different field, you can have different skill set, you can just interlink that so people can know much more about you just clicking on that link. And now then I have that our project portion over here, and once you click in that project, it's gonna take you to that project, and people can view and just having an understanding what kind of things you can build or you have built already. And after that, we have a contact page option over here. Once we click in that contact me button, it's gonna take to fetch to the directly send an email from your client. And now there is a social link button over here. As you see, once I click in my GitHub, it's gonna take to my GitHub tag. If we click in my YouTube, it's gonna redirect to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the likes button, please. So now these all are the things we're gonna build it by using a Nextjs 13.4. I'm gonna show you how you can create an application with it and how you can deploy it through Vercel free. So we're gonna build that. So if you are, and also by the way, it's very good to give some thanks to like the owner Gore, because I get inspired from this website, and after getting inspired, I created my own portfolio using that website. As you see, I add a little bit more functionality, the same method, but I just changed a little bit more activity over here. If you see, I have the project page, I have the contact me button, and more integrated field over here, but based on that design. So thanks to Anamgur, and please, you can view that portfolio also over there. So you can create a little bit of more handy tricks with that. And don't worry, all the things we're gonna build, it will be inside a GitHub repo, and that in the description you're gonna find that GitHub repo, and even you just simply download or just clone that repo, you can easily have everything. Then the change your all the description, and that can be your own portfolio. And by the way, if you are not a developer, you might need to install Node.js to go along with me with that, and I'm gonna let you follow through everything. And if you just simply type with me and follow my guidance, you're gonna have your portfolio ready at the end of that video. And also you need to install that Visual Studio Code for the code. I'm gonna use that for our code development. And then you need to have a bit of understanding about GitHub. You need to have a single account, because you're gonna create a repo, and from that repo we're going to redirect to deploy in our Vercel account. So you need to have that one account in the GitHub and another one in the Vercel. It's very easy to create. So let's go and start building that application. First of all, let's go to in my folder over here, and I will open inside in the terminal. And first of all, how we can do it, it's a simple code. We need to run it in our terminal to install a Nextjs application, and let's give a name of that portfolio for YT. Oops, YT. So now it's gonna go and fetch all the required dependencies. First of all, it's a very good handy tricks. It's giving the prompt in the Nextjs 13.4. It's asking for the TypeScript. I want to use the TypeScript for this entire build. I want ASLint. Yes, the Tailwind CSS require. And we are not going to use the source directory, because we're going to have only one single directory, the components, beside the app directory, and app, it will be initialized from the beginning. So now what it's gonna do, it's gonna get all the dependencies and initialize the application. So it's already installed all the dependencies. So let's go inside that folder. So it will be cd portfolio for YT. And now I'm gonna open it in my code editor. Okay. So now as you see, we have on one a node app folder. That's our root folder. And inside that app folder, a icon for our the title icon, and then the global CSS, which gonna be responsible for the Tailwind configuration, then the layout portion, and that page.tsx. So before going further, let's go and open our terminal. And what I'm gonna do, let's also open our git bash. So first of all, I want to use the yarn for it. So I'm gonna add the yarn. So it gonna like initialize all dependencies in yarn. If you want to use the yarn, you can just simply download from their official website. It just if you're using npm, doesn't matter, you can use that also, the same thing. If you use the npm, you just make that npm run dev. It's gonna start in your development mode. So let's here install all the dependencies. So everything is gonna pass from here. This is our root level directory. So from there, we're gonna start building everything. So first of all, going through over here, if you're not using the yarn, you need to just make it like that, npm run dev. So as I'm using the yarn, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make just yarn run dev. It's that simple. So now what it's gonna do, it's gonna run my application to that localhost 3000. Let's open over here. So now what you're gonna see after loading is everything coming from that main file. So everything over here, you're gonna see over here. So now as you see, this is the entry point for our application. It's already loaded. So now that's the default page for the Nextjs 13.4. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in that main folder. I'm gonna remove everything, and I'm gonna create another main file. Let's keep a ptag, and this is our portfolio. So let's save it. And as you see, this is our portfolio, but this background color and all other related style, you may find it coming from that global.css, because there is some roots class name is going on, and also the media query. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove everything from there. Now we have our fresh build. So first of all, we need to create those portions, but before creating, let's make something else also. I'm gonna go back to my previous file. As you see, portfolio 4. So now in my not in the app, in my public folder, there is a folder called images. I'm gonna copy that folder, and then inside my current file in that public folder, I'm gonna paste that. Now over here is all the images, my profile image and the project images, which I'm gonna use later on. Those images is over here. Now everything you need to get it from the public folder. All the static image file you're gonna use for your application. That's the way Nextjs work. So now in our pages is that one. So go in the top level direct in the root folder. So let's go and create our components folder. And inside that components folder, first of all, I'm gonna create, it will be banner.tsx, because we're gonna use the TypeScript RAFCE. And now what I'm gonna do in that pages in the root label, so I'm gonna import that banner from the component. So after hitting the save, we are having our banner ready. So now as you see, there's a little bit like a max width is happening. So what I'm gonna do in that main, let's go class name and width full. I'm gonna give a bg. Let's make a different background to looks a little bit more better. And the text, it will be gray of 300 by default. So this is the things. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it, introduce another div, and inside that div, I'm gonna give a class name of max width of screen axle, and I'm gonna make it mx auto to make it in the middle, and just make a bg rate 300 to just see if it's working or not. Yeah, that's working. So let's remove that bg. Now let's go back to the banner. So what I'm gonna do, put a class name padding y of 20. Let's see. Yes, so this is our banner. So what I'm gonna do, I need to take two div. So first one, it will be our image, and the second one, it will be for our like just description. So first of all, Now this one actually, because I'm using the RAFCE, the React native snippet, and if you want to use that one, what you need to do, you need to install that one ES7 React native snippet from there, and also for the Tailwind CSS, you need to use install that one, that Tailwind CSS IntelliSense, and I'm using the pit here to let my code looks better. So now you can remove that React because you're using the Nextjs application, so that's doesn't mandatory. And also over here, what I'm gonna do, let's make it more full screen. So I need to import that image, and that image is lying in my public folder. So let's import profile image, and it will be from, we need to go in the public folder and image, and then it will be profile image.jpg. So now in here, I'm gonna use that image component from the next image, not the normal one. And also I need to introduce the source, and the source, it will be my profile image. And then also I need to give it auto tag profile image. Let's hit the save. And if we go back here, as you see, my profile picture is available. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give a class name in the top level, give a class name width of 44 and height of 44, and I'm gonna make it rounded full bg black. But the image, nothing is changed, just getting a little bit smaller. So what I need to do, put a class name, it will be the full width and full height from the parent div, and the rounded, it will be full. And also I'm okay, just save that one. As you see, looks good. And we're gonna make a border of just make it 1 pixel border, and the border, it will be, we're gonna make it indigo color, which will be 700. As you see, that border is reflecting, and we're gonna make a padding of 2, that is looks a little bit more nicer. So it looks better. And also what we need to do, we need to make it object cover. Now the image is stretched properly. So now we are having that image. Now in over here, in our next div, we need to add first of all our name. So let's add the name, and then from h3 tag, we're gonna just add our title. And in our p tag, for right now, I'm just using the lorem, just some lorem text. You can use the text you may like. So now this is our second div. So first of all, let's take entire div as a like side by side. So we're gonna make it flex and item center. But our image is, you see, is squashed already. So what I'm gonna do over here, give a class name, and weight, it will be like 3/4. Okay, now our image getting a little bit room to breathe, and I'm gonna give a gap of 10. Okay, so now we need to implement the and first of all, let's see what kind of fonts we are using. We are using the enter default font, and if you just see over here, we are using the Montserrat font. So what I'm gonna do, let's go, you can change the font from the layout portion. So I'm gonna use that Montserrat. Okay, and also I need to change that one, and Montserrat, and need to pass that in the root level. As you see, the font is changed. So now what we need to do, let's go back to banner, and in H tag, I think it's better to keep it a little bit smaller so you can see some of the actions. So let's put some class name. The text, it will be a 5 pixel, and the font, it will be, it will be bold. And the text, we need to make it white because I want my name to reflect, because by default all the text, it will be gray 300. So now that portion is ready. And if you see that h3 tag, that is reflecting is a gradient color. So we need to implement that gradient color, and to implement that one, let's put a class name, and the text, it will be 3 pixel. Yeah, text looks more bigger. So what I'm gonna do, 2 pixel. Yeah, 2 pixel is good. and the font, it will be a semi-bold. And first of all, the BG, it will be clip text. And to implement that one, we need to make the text as transparent, and a BG, it will be a gradient from the right side, and it will start from blue 300 via rows 300, and to, I believe I'm gonna pass that indigo 300. So now see, that looks nicer. Now you can change the this 2XL 3XL as the way you want. And also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it tracking wider to a little bit more reflective on that. Now in the p tag, let's add some class name. The text, it will be this, and that tracking, it will be wide. And also I think that's the simplest way. No need to add any kind of hodgepodge over here. And now need to give some spacing. So first of all, I'm gonna make flex and flex in the column, and I'm gonna give a gap of 2. So now as you see, that looks nicer than this one. And as you see, there is a title over here, and if you want to change the title on it, you can go to layout portion. And inside that layout, as you see in that metadata, you can change pretty much everything you want. So what you need to do, it will be John Doe and Marn Stack Developer. As you see the title, it has been changed. So it's your homework. Try to change that icon, okay? So now our banner portion is done. First of all, our website, it will be fully responsive. So we will try responsinator after doing every other component. So we need to make our banner as responsive as it should be. So till our LG devices is working, so you can go to the Tailwindcss tailwindcss.com, and you can find everything related over here. Like if you search responsiveness, as you see, responsive design, everything is over here. 2XL, XL, what is LG, MD. So just reflect over there, and if you just follow through me, it will be fine also. So now as you see, in our smaller devices, there is no padding portion. So first of all, what I'm gonna do in our pages, I'm gonna give it default padding in x-axis, which will be 4. So it's gonna follow through in all devices. As you see, the gapping is started. So now I think until our LG devices is working fine. So it will be start from our MB devices. So let's go over here. First of all, it will be a flex column because Tailwindcss is mobile utility first. So it will start from the smaller devices. So what I want in the smaller devices, it will be flex in column. I want that not, it will be a top bottom level. Okay. So, and whenever we hit MB devices, it will be flex row. So now as you see, it's flex column, and now in flex row. So this is the MD, and that's the LG, and others is XL. So now, as you see, whenever we are hitting, I want my image, everything should be in the middle, right? So to do that, over here, what I'm gonna do is already flex column, item, it will be center. So if I save, you can see the item is center, and it's center for all the devices. But what I need to do for the empty devices, item should be start, not in the center. Only it will be for the smaller devices. And also you need to do the same for that text, and that will be a text center. And for MD devices, text, it will be left start, wherever you can keep, it will be the same. So now that looks better. As you see, it's reflecting in all the devices. And by the way, if you just make it scroll through, see, that looks perfect. Now we have done the banner. So after banner, we're gonna have another portion which will be about me section. About me.ts. Oops, not the tx. Be careful when you are creating that file. It will be tsx rafce. So now hit the save button, and in that banner, we're gonna use that about me. So now about me is reflecting over here. Now we are missing one thing. We need to have that underlying that border portion over here at the bottom. So let's go back to banner. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a border B as 1 pixel, and that border B, it will be color of slits 600. Now as you see, the border B is looking just fine. Now there is like that padding, and also as you see there is more padding from the top, and that padding is coming actually from here. So what I'm gonna do, from that the MD devices or LG devices, I'm gonna make a padding top of 10 just to see that padding. See, now that padding is working. So what I need to do, this padding margin, it's gonna be each and every single components, because all components have that padding, have that border bottom. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go my global CSS, and in the layer component, I'm gonna create a class which will be a wrapper, and inside that wrapper, I'm gonna apply that things which will be border B and 1 pixel, and also border B, it will be slat 600 and py of 20. So now I can actually just type that wrapper and everything, it will be fine. So now if we let's go to our banner, I want to remove that padding in y-axis, and also I'm gonna remove that border portion. If I hit save, see, it's not giving that border and the other margin. So if I just add the wrapper, everything working fine. So what I'm gonna do in our about pages, I'm gonna create a class name, and I'm gonna add the wrapper. And now all this styling is applying just by default. And if I want to change anything, I want to make it just a slit 800, I'm gonna just do it from here. Better to keep it 700. Oops, yeah, it will be 700. Now it looks much better. Now there is one thing to realize, this about me experience, this is the title, it's generating from a single component. So first of all, let's go and create that title. So to do that, I'm gonna take a div, and I'm gonna take an h3 tag. First one, it will be about this at about me. So this will be the about me. And what I'm gonna do, class name text, it will be 2xl, and the font, it will be semi-bold. Yeah, we can see it properly. Now we need to get that icon. I'm gonna use that React icons to implement all my icons over here. And first one is about. So let me grab that icon. I believe I used that Informatica icon, something like that. Yes, that one. So now let's import that icon, and we're gonna import from React icons. Oops. RESCT, and it will be, oh, we didn't install that icons. Yeah. So first of all, you need to install that one. So you can just simply copy if you're using that npm. I'm using the year. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make it yarn at React icons. So now we're gonna install all the dependencies for that icons, and we will be able to work with that. So now, as you see, if we go to React icons, we are free to take it. And we need to add that icons over here. Yeah, that's the icon, you can see. So also for that icon, let's add some class name to Excel, and text, it will be blue. Let's give it 700 or 600. I think 600 looks more better. Yeah, that's the similar, or you can make a little bit a bigger icon if you may like. Yeah, and for that icon, we want it side by side, which need to make it by a flex item center. It's getting side by side, and also we need to give a gap. I will give a gap of 4. Okay, so now I believe, yeah, 2 is good. Yeah, 2 is good. And by the way, actually without giving it over here, because we need to type twice, actually we can just keep it over here and it will work just fine. See? So you can just keep anywhere you want. So first of all, because it will generate everything for from single components, so I'm gonna take it as a title.tsx rafce. So now we created our title, and I'm gonna take this portion, I'm gonna cut it, I'm gonna paste it over here, and I need to take that icon also. Okay, now I can import that one from there. And as you see, that's working fine. Now once you hover in the about me, that is coming from somewhere. That's animation we need to create. So first of all, we will create that inside that h3 tag, and we're gonna create it as a span. So before creating that one, I need to make that h3 tag as a relative one. You can create inside the div also, doesn't matter. So let's put a class name, and width will be full, and I want to give a height of 2 pixels for that design, and then it will be an absolute one, and from the bottom it will be 0, and from the left it will be 0. And I think also we need to make inline block, otherwise you may not see that one. Okay, it's not working. Width full and height 2 pixel, absolute. Bottom 0, left 0, because we need to give a VG, which will be VG blue of 800. Yeah, now you can see. Or we can give a 600 to looks a little bit lighter. So this is the design we have. So then what we need to make it as translate. Just let's keep 10 if it's working. Yeah, translate 10 is working. So we will make translate minus 100 to let's go out of the div. As you see, not 100 actually, it will be minus 100%. So it's gonna take that design outside of the div. So whenever we are hover on it, actually for that I'm gonna make it top as a group. So whenever we are hovering on the group, we want that translate in x-axis 0, so to commit is in initial state. So if we make not in hover, we're gonna make it as a group. So whenever we are hovering on that group, we want to make it translate x in 0. As you see, it's coming, but it's happening very rapid. So we need to make it as a transform. Not the transform. I believe it will be transition. It will be in the transform, and the duration, we're gonna give a manual duration of like 500 milliseconds. So as you see, oh, that looks nice. Yeah, so I think, yeah, or actually 5 is a little bit more. We're gonna give it 3. But now as you see, we don't want to see that one once it's showing. So to do that, what I'm gonna do as a relative, I'm gonna make it overflow. It will be hidden, so whatever is outside of it, we may not see that one. So now as you see, that looks good. So now our title is ready. So after the title, I'm gonna just copy that one, and I'm gonna add that below of it. So let's add a p tag, and of course not only in that p tag, I'm gonna add inside that div, and I'm gonna add another p tag, and I'm gonna add that below portion. You can use a br tag also to initialize that one. So now this is the portion, but as you see, there's a same gap after the title, and to implement that same gap after the title, what we can do actually, in over here, I'm gonna make a padding bottom, which will be, just make a 10. See, there is a padding giving. 10 is more, I think 8 or 6 is good. So I'm gonna give a 6 for right now. And for that portion, I'm gonna give a class name. It will be text LG. Yes, that looks good. And it will be tracking. It will be wide, and it will be flex in column, and the gap, it will be 6. So now here your about me portion is done. As you see, that looks a bit of same as it is. And now this title, actually we are putting but we are not passing any variable over here. So every time we import the title, it will be the same thing about me and the design. So what we need to do in here, we're gonna pass a variable which gonna give us a text, and for that one it will be about tag, and for the icon we're gonna pass that icon which we are using as a Informatica. So now in our title we can get that two as variable, as a text and as a icon. So now if I remove that text, you're gonna see there is no text available, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna put in a curly braces and we're gonna give a text as a variable. So we retrieve the text, and for that one we're gonna just cut it and we're gonna take a span tag. Oops, it will be span tag, and we're gonna pass that icon. So now we will able to see the icon, and that color we're gonna change. Oops, it will be class name. The text it will be blue 600. So that's the icon is over here. Now that error is coming. Now as you see, we don't need to import that one also here. Now we need to define the TypeScript, what kind of things we are importing. So we're going to define it in the interface, and we're going to use it as a props. So we know the text which we are passing, the text is as a string, and icon we are passing, it will be React Note. That's the icon we are passing. So now, and I'm going to highlight that one, props. As you see, the TypeScript, whatever is crying, it just gone and it looks just fine. Now every time we are getting that title, we just need to pass a props as the text, what the text we want to see, and we need to also pass the icon, whatever icons we want to view. So the about portion done. After the about portion, we need to create the experience portion. Let's go and start that experience. Experience.tsx rafce. So now this is the experience portion, and I think for the about me portion, I think no need to make anything changes for as you see, this already just a compile one, so there will be no problem with the responsiveness. So now for the experience, let's begin. We can close the about me, close the title. And now, experience. So the experience, you can see the experience over here, and what we need to do to let it be more visible. Oops, it will be wrapper. So after adding the wrapper, now you can view it properly. So in the experience, what we're gonna have, we're gonna have this kind of 4 portions over here, like 4 kind of things you experience. You can add as much more as possible, but first of all, let's add the title. Title. Okay, this is the title. Now in the title, we need to pass some props. Remember, we're gonna text, it will be I think EXPERIENCES, experiences, and then the icon, and that icon, it will be the icon of, let's search some of the icon, work. Yeah, I'm gonna use the MD work. Import MD work from React icons empty, and we're gonna pass that. Oops, it will be not the simple icon only, we need to pass it inside that braces. Okay, let's hit save. It's supposed to, yeah, now our experience is working. So we can see our experience. So first of all, we need to create that a portion, and to do that, let's go over here, and we're gonna take another div, and inside that div, we need to first of all get the icon. So let's see what kind of icon we might be found over here. We're gonna use that one. let's import. It will be from React Icons SI. So I'm gonna take a div, and not a div actually. I'm gonna take a span, and inside that span, I'm gonna use that icon, which we're gonna implement. So what I'm gonna do, the class name, it will be 8, height 8. Yeah, 8. It will be rounded. It will be full, and a VG. It will be black, and then it will be border as 1 pixel, and border it will be a blue 600. So now I believe you're gonna see some kind of circling over here, and you cannot see because we need to make it inline block or inline. I think better to inline flex. If you use the div, you can see it, but if you use that span, you need to create as a block. Or also, I believe instead of 8, we can give it as 12. So now you can see that one. So first of all, let's go a class name, the text, it will be Excel, to just make a little bit a bigger icon, or you can give 2 Excel to let it be looks more bigger. Oops, I don't know from where this gapping coming, and I want to make it inside that make it inside in the middle. So I'll make flex item center, justify center. So now the icon, it will be in the top, inside of it stacked. So now this is the div, and after the div, the span we use. So now I'm gonna use another h3 tag, and that h3 tag will be responsible to get that one, the company I have been worked for, and the kind of things I have been done there. So these are the things will be available over here. Now as you see, that is looks just the way we are looking for. Let's give a class name, and text, it will be 2XL, font, it will be a bold, and yeah, that looks pretty much good. And also in the p tag, let's give a class name, and the text, it will be Excel, and font, it will be medium. So now as you see, this 2 is, or actually not keeping the Excel, we can give LG, and we can also give a tracking as white. Yeah, I think that will be fine. And actually we can also make a little bit of color. No need to give it a bold. I'm gonna make it a text of gray 400, because by default is all are 300, so it will be a little bit of color. Yeah, so now in the top level of the div, flex, okay, and also we're gonna make item center, and we're gonna give a gap of 6. Okay, so now this portion, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put inside a div. Now it will be in the top bottom layer portion. So now as you see, that looks much better, pretty similar with that. And also actually, if we just give a base, the text as base, it will be looks like the way the previous one. So now we are generating that portion. So I think gap is a little bit less gap should be good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give a gap of 4. So now we have the 4 things. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna just take it inside a component, which will be experience card.tsx. See, so now what I'm gonna do, this all the portion from there, as you see, this the portion, I'm gonna cut and paste it over here. And for the right now, I'm gonna take also, I'm just copy that icon, I'm gonna paste it here. So now let's inside a div, experience card. So now also I can view that experience card over here. And there is another thing, if I just make it that 4 portion, as you see, I'm gonna having the I believe the 4 card, it will be available. So now what you need to do, but it's containing the similar text and codex. So the same way, I need to change the text and title and the icon, which I have been done before. So instead of doing all over the things again, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just paste my from my previous things. And as you see, I'm gonna use oops, it will be like I'm gonna use that icon one for, yeah, for the top tail one. Oops, I think I paste twice. Yeah, that's why this thing is error is coming. So this will be the top tail, and this for the freelancer, and this one for the fiber. So now what I'm doing over here, I'm just calling that component and I'm passing a title, which will be the title for my company, and the subtitle for the description, and I'm passing the icon. Now if I save, as you see, you may see the changes in the title and the description and the icon. It will be changed, but nothing is changing. That's because in our experience card, I'm still not getting that as a props. So I need to, as a prop. So I need to get that as a props. So in the title, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna, in H3, I'm gonna pass it as a title. Oops, it will be title. And I'm gonna pass that as a subtitle. And also over here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it inside a span tag, and the same way I'm gonna pass that icon. And what I'm gonna do, it will be text of to Excel. So now it will be available to you for view. Now you see that looks fine. So now I need to also creating that interface, or you can put the types as the way you like. So I'm gonna use interface for other props, and it will be the title, which will be string, and the subtitle, it will be subtitle. It will be also a string, and the icon, it will be React Note. And over here, I need to pass as a props. You see the TypeScript error is gone. So now in our experience card, because it's all are inside the div, so I'm gonna give a class name, and I'm gonna make a grid, and the grid calls of 2. Now you see it's squashed in between together, and I'm gonna give it a gap. Now you can give a 6, 8, 10 as the way you like. So just, or better to give a 10 gap. So now as you see, that looks that's similar. I think almost similar, looks better than that. So now I am having my experiences over here, and it's generating with props from there. And after that, we need to have to create another components, which will be our skills. So let's create skills.tsx rafce. Now in our pages directory, and first of all, let's see what kind of things is going over here. I think, yeah, for the banner, what we need to do, yeah, that's the text is to Excel. First of all, the text will be Excel. Only in the MD, it will be to Excel. Yeah, looks good. So now, as you see, the experience is just not working for, I think, let's see in which devices. Yeah, in the large devices is working fine. It's medium. So until the medium devices, that thing is working just fine. So what I'm gonna do in our experiences, that one will be until MD devices, the grid will be calls 2. In the normal devices, the grid calls will be the single one. So now if we save now, as you see, that looks prettier. So now it's fully responsive in overall view. And also we already added the skill portion. So now what we need to do, we need to add that skills in our pages. So we will be able to see the skills. Yeah, it's already available. And also we need to add a class name, and then we need to add our wrapper. So wrapper is available, and after the wrapper we need to add our title, and for the title that there will be a text which will be our skills. I believe it's skills, yeah. And also we need to pass a variable skills, yeah. I'm using the gr skills. Gi, and the icon, oops, gi skills. So now our skills, it will be just fine. Okay, I don't know why it's taking a bit time to reload. Yeah, that's the skills. So now what we need to do, we need to create that portion where we're gonna hover, it's gonna give you effect and others. So we're gonna add a div. Inside the div, we're gonna add a p tag, and inside that p tag, we're gonna create that one. Let's add the JavaScript only. So we're gonna find our JavaScript available over here, and on that JavaScript we need to work. So let's say class name, it will be a border, and the border, it will be blue, 800. Yeah, I think it's a little bit more catchy. 800. I think, yeah. First of all, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it a flex, so the border, it will be in a synchronized in actual way, as you see. So now the padding in x-axis, I'm gonna make it 6. In a y-axis, I'm gonna make it 2, and the text, it will be LG, the large text. So let's see, yeah, it will, large text, it will looks better. And now make a BG as a transparent, and the text, it will be gray of 400. So whenever we're gonna hover, the text will be white. Whenever I'm gonna hover, the border, it will be blue but 600. And whenever we're gonna hover, BG, it will be black. So now as you see, once you hover, there is a lot of things gonna change. Yeah. And also because these things gonna pass it from as a href tag, because we need to pass it the value wherever this tag gonna redirect. So by default, it gonna add that portion over here. So now, yeah. And by the way, what if we make the text at Axel? This looks good, or I think LG is okay. I'm gonna use that just tracking as white, and also I'm gonna make it rounded as LG, just to create a little bit a rounding portion over here. Okay, and it's coming very fast. So what I'm gonna make, duration of 300. So now let's go to our previous application. I'm gonna just copy that one, and I'm gonna save it in a href tag, and also I'm gonna make it the target as blank. So it's gonna open in a blank page. So oops, it's gonna be here. So once we click, it's gonna take to that JavaScript MDN in a blank tag. So now as you see, it's pretty much similar with that. It's all the same. Okay, that looks pretty slick. So now what we need to do actually, in that component tag, we can create it in a separate way. So in the component layer, I'm gonna create a like skill input dot tsx rafce. So now here we're gonna put that all the skills related. So let's cut it and let's paste it here. And also we can add that oops, it will be skill input. We can add it over here. Now after saving, it's the similar things we are seeing, and now we need to pass everything as the props like the way we did it. So now I'm gonna just copy paste the other things which I have been done. Oops, in my previous file it's skills. I think it's skills. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just change the name skills input. Yes, so allow, and it will be skills input, also skills input, and over here it will be skills input. Oops, it will be input. So now the error is gone. It will be go. So now what we are passing in that skills input, I think, yeah, it's gone. So as you see, everything is working fine. So now what we are passing in the skills input, we are passing a title. For the title, the text we are rendering, and then we are passing a link, because every time the link will be different. So these two things we are passing as props. So now what we need to do, we need to, before getting that as a props, first of all, let's come in the skills in over here in the div. So I'm gonna give a gap of 6, little bit gap 2 looks nicer. 6 or 4, I think it will be looks good. And also I need to make it flex wrap, because it's going in a line way. I want whenever the flex is finished, it's gonna be coming side by side. So now all are in the JavaScript, because we need to change it over here. So now we need to take the oops, it will be title and link, title and that link. So what I'm gonna pass that as a title over here, and you're gonna see in a way it gonna just change all the title. And also in rough tag, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass that as a link. So now that is working fine. So as you see, if I just click on express, it's gonna take to let's, if I type in the express, it's gonna take to the link in the express below. And also there is an error coming up from the TypeScript. Oops, it will be, now let's make type. You can also pass it as a types instead of interface, and then it will be the title, it will be string, and then link which we're passing, it's also a string. Oops. And also then we're gonna pass it as props. The error is gone. If we just look through in our response signature, as you see, that looks, I think, no need to create any kind of additional responsiveness. That looks a bit clean and nice. So if you want to add the responsiveness, feel free to add. And if you want to change something, feel free to change it. So after having that, we need to create that project portion. Let's go create a file, which will be projects.tsx rafce. And also, I'm gonna close those things. Over here, I'm gonna add that. So this will be our project. And inside that project, what we need to do, we need to put a class name. We need to add that wrapper for our padding portion. So now we'll be able to see our projects. And now let's get the title. These are the title, and the text, it will be projects. You can put my projects or something. And for that projects, let's go projects, and I'm gonna use that icon, import, and it will be from React icons, icon. Okay, so the project icons, it will be project icon is over here. So now I'm using the 6 images, so need to implement that 6 images. So what I'm gonna do, in my project file, I'm gonna import that 6 images. I'm just going back to my public folder, and after that public folder, I'm going to inside my images, then projects, then I have that image. I'm just importing that image from there. So now what I need to do over here, as you see, I'm implementing one thing which going to be inside a div, and I'm gonna take that image from the next image, and the source, it will be for the first one. Oops, let's, oh, my bad, it will be Amazon clone, and the alternative tag, it will be Amazon clone. So let's save it. I believe, yeah, one image is already rendered. So now what I'm gonna do over here, give a class name, and the width will be 80, height will be 80, and the border, I'm gonna give a border of 1 pixel, and the border, it will be blue of 600, and you're gonna be able to see some kind of border and other things. And also you see the image is a little bit more handling, a little bit bigger. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it the overflow, it will be hidden. So whatever overflow is happening from that particular div, it will be hidden, so we cannot see the other item of the images. But whenever we're gonna hover on it, the image should be scrolled through. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it as a group, and now it's time to start with that. So first of all, let's make that image with full, and the height, it will be a full, and object, it will be cover. The image, it will be a fit with that particular things. And as you see, it's just getting all together. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove that height and weight, so it will be the actual height and weight. So because if we give a height to it, it will be in the middle, so which I don't want. And also in over here, I'm gonna make a rounded portion, which will be LG, just to make that a corner a bit of a rounding, looks a bit nice and better. So now what I'm gonna do, first of all, I'm gonna make a translate, oops, it will be not translate X, it will be translate Y portion, it will be a 0. But whenever I'm gonna make a hover in a group, so go group hover, translate Y, it will be 50%. Okay, it's working, but it's first of all, let's remove that overflow hidden, and then you can actually see. And also what I'm gonna do, not I'm gonna just remove that group hover, because I want you to see what's actually going on. So as you see, it's going in the layer bottom level. So first of all, it will be translate 0, which I don't want to keep in initializing in the beginning. So it will be minus, so let's give it 65. My net connection is slower, so it's reloading, taking a bit of time, so don't worry about it. Maybe in your system it will be just fine. So now we're gonna add it, that one, group over, and first of all, initially it will be translate Y as a 0, and also it will be overflow, it will be hidden. And also I'm gonna make it a transition, which will be in transform, and the duration, I'm gonna make it as a 3 seconds, so we can see the transitioning when it's happening. As you see, oops, it's getting very faster, so my duration is not working. So let's see, transition, transform, duration, let's give 100. Okay, now it's working. So now if we just create a 3s, it should work. Yeah, it's working. So let's give a 4x. I think 3x, it will be fine. Yeah. And also we need to make it as relative, because we're gonna keep a text over here, which will be padding, sorry, a p tag, and we're gonna make it as Amazon clone. And for that tag one, it will be class name absolute, bottom 0, it will be full, and bg, it will be blue of 600. Yes, as you can see that. And text, it will be white, and the text, it will be in the center, and font, it will be semi bold, so it will be in the center axis, and the font a little bit bold way. And of course, we need to implement one more thing. What I'm gonna do is padding in y-axis, it will be 1. So looks a little bit nicer and bigger. So first of all, what we want, it will be hidden. So we cannot see that one. But whenever we're gonna make hover inside the group, it will be inline block. So first of all, we cannot see that one. So once we are hovering, we can see that actual thing. So as you see, hover, and also we can add a little bit transitioning effect, which gonna be duration 300 to let it be more nicer. And now if we go in first projects, when we click, it's taking to in us in a particular link. So to implement that one, that entire div we need to keep inside an a tag, oops, a tag. And now we can paste it over here, and I'm going to copy that, and in the rough tag I'm gonna put that link, and also I'm gonna target as a blank file for that, so it's gonna target on it. So now as you see, yeah, it's it's working just the way it's supposed to be. So this entire thing now, right now, what we need to do, we need to implement that one inside another component, okay, so that it's gonna work the way we are looking for. So we can add as much as you want, just we need to pass the props in a way. So it will be project card.tsx rafce. So now over here, what I'm gonna do, that overall things which we have been working over there, we're gonna just put it here, and we need to pass we need to paste it here. So like if we just pass it here, like the projects card, oops, it will be projects card. So now oops, I think, yeah, now also you can see that it's working just fine. So we need to implement that other things. So what I'm gonna do, instead of putting the single projects, I'm gonna just pass all other the projects card. Oops, it will not be the card, it will be the card. Oops, it's my bad. It will be D. So these all are the project card. You see, I need to like the pass that props as the value, and this value gonna be go through from the source, and that source we are adding for the TypeScript purpose. So now we are passing that as image, and we are passing the title, and we are passing the link. So the same way beforehand, what we need to do, we need to catch that things which will be the title, I think title, and that image and link. So and also you're gonna pass the link and the image. So now what we can do, actually in the source we can pass that image, and also in that over in Amazon clone we can pass it as a title, and now in the rough tag over here we can pass that link. And after doing that, it will be just work as fine as it's supposed to be. But as you see, the image is not changes, because no, it will be changes, it will be changed, because it's taking a little bit time to reload everything. Okay, it's showing that missing that require property, because we are adding that src property. So now we need to add one like the width, which will be 350, and the height, which will be 350. And after adding that, it will be successfully be loaded, and there will be no issue anymore. And also we need to pass that interface, okay, interface, which will be props. If you go down over here, you can see all the things is available. Before describing the interface, what I'm gonna do is go inside the div, is make it a grid, and the grid calls, it will be 3. And also I think yeah, and also I'm gonna give a gap of 10, just to be getting a little bit room to breathe. So once it's saving that one, so let's go to initialize our props, which are gonna be title, it will be string, and link, it will be string, and also image, it will be string. So everything passing is as string, and we're gonna pass simply the props. So the TypeScript error is gone. So now we are sending as that as a greet because we are passing that. I think okay, let me see what's going on. Because we are giving the grid, so I believe what we need to do, we need to give a width of full over here because we are just initializing the width of 80, so it's taking the 80 width. So now as you see, that looks fine. So width is full, and now grid calls 3 and gap is 7, so I think it's taking the entire width. So let us fix that again. I think I find the problem we are facing because I made a mistake when we are typing. It will be grid. That is the mistake I have been done, and that's why it's not giving that portion. So now as you see, that looks okay, but not okay in a way. So we need to fix some of the portion, and that portion is I think somewhere, and also I think place item, I'm gonna make it a center, and then we're gonna fix some other things also. And I think, yeah, place item center, I think it will be fine. Yeah, now as you see, that looks perfect. So now let's go for our responsiveness. As you see, in our LG devices is working just fine. If we go to our, so starting from the MD devices is gonna make the hit. So LG devices, it will be grid columns of 2, and MD devices, it will be grid columns of 2, and initially it will be grid columns of 1. So in the small devices, it will be a single column. If we just scroll down over here, you see single column. If we click, it's taking us to the link to the pages is supposed to be. It's just redirecting. So if you just go over here, you can see the entire page. So now, and also if we, it's all the devices is gonna work properly. If you see, go to the MB devices, it's just working fine. So after that, we need to have that our contact portion. So our project is done, project card is done. So let's go and create another portion, which will be contact.tsx rafce, and also we need to import that one in our, oops, it will be contact, and there will be no title. We just need to add those things. So what I'm gonna do, let's add a h2 tag, import that, and we need to paste that one also. Oops. And then we're gonna use a button, which will be like, okay, let's put the default one which we have been saying in our previous one. So that will be our inside our contact page, and overall we need to create like initialize the wrapper to actually see that. I think some connection error, I have been lost the connection and regain again automatically. So now that is our portion. Wrapper is, I give the wrapper is supposed to work. Okay, yeah, that is working. So now that text, it will need to be a little bit bigger, and overall other things. So let's say it a class name. The text, it will be 2, not 3XL, 2XL. Font, it will be bold, and I want everything should be in the middle. So flex, and it will be item center, justify center. So everything gonna be in the middle. And for that also we need to initialize, and by the way, it will not be in the flex row, it will be in the flex column portion. So now it gonna come in the like a top bottom portion, as you see. And also we need to introduce a gap, which I'm gonna give a gap of 4, and for the p tag, it will be the text LG, and the tracking, it will be a little bit wider, and font, it will be medium. So now we are having our other things. So as you see, and there is one more thing. I'm gonna make it text as inside the center. And first of all, this thing I'm gonna give a little bit extra width for that. just to introduce that you can also initialize some other width, which gonna be max width like 5xl mx auto. So now it gonna give we have initial like axle screen axle. So now this will be the 5xl mx auto. Okay, I think I missed something somewhere. Okay, no, not somewhere, because these things we need to implement not over there, it should be over here. Yeah, that's the catch, because we changed the div. So now that will work inside on that div. Now see, that's working fine. Now we need to create that say hello button. So let's go, the class name, width will be 52, height will be 14, VG it will be gradient from the right side, and it will be from, let's give a blue, from blue up 600 via blue of 800, and to indigo 900. So that will be the overall portion of the and also, as you see, that is working. I think if we just with, yeah, if we give it's 700, it just combine the way you just love to combine. I'm just doing as the way I am just preferring to make it a little bit in a short way. And the text it will be LG, and font it will be bold, and text it will be white. And there is any round, yeah, there is a rounded portion over here, so it will be rounded LG. So now as you see, say hello is working, and there is a hover effect also. Yeah, as you see, when you're hovering, the like the gradient portion is working in a different way. Let's give it axle. So once we hover, it will be from indigo 950, and hover to, it will be blue 600. So once we hover, the effect will be changed, the color will become from as you see, yeah, that's the one we want. So, and also we add the duration of 300. So now once we click, we want us to send the mail on it. So to do that, in that button, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put that button in a tag, and that ref tag, I'm gonna use that mail to. Now I'm gonna use my email, jstips@gmail.com. So now once anyone click on that link, it's gonna initialize and like a mail to that in my mail, that node.jstips. So if we just click, as you see, it's initializing mail to my that mail from my other mail. So it will be whenever a person click on that from his mail, it's gonna initialize a mail to my particular mail. So as you see, we have been done over almost everything. Now we need to create that portion, which are gonna be our social media. To create that one, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just create another social link. Oops, it will be link.tsx rafce. So before going to that link, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a div over here, and inside that div, first of all, I'm gonna having a text. Let's add a p tag, so it will be a GitHub, and after the tag text, it will be another one. I'm gonna adding an icon. As you see that icon, so let's add that right icon, and I think it's the icon. It will be, yeah, fire arrow right. I think that's the icon I'm gonna use. Import from React icons fi, and now I'm gonna add that one. Okay. So it will be visible. So once it's taking time to get visible, I'm gonna make it like a flex, and items should be in the center, and the gap of, let's give a gap of 2. And also I'm gonna make text as Excel. Okay, and also the text, it will be gray, little bit off color, gray of 400. And by the way, I'm gonna make it a font of a semi bold. And item center, it will be justify, also it will be in a center axis, so it will be in the middle from all over the side. So now I think we believe, yeah, that's available. And what I'm gonna do for that particular div, because this I'm gonna keep inside a div, I'm gonna take another div, and for that div class name empty, it will be 10. From the margin top, we're gonna keep it a 10. So as you see, there's a gap between from the top, so that's the gap I'm gonna create, and better to keep it 8. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna introduce some of the class name on it, and that class name, it will be, I'm going to just introduce that class name over here. The text Excel no need, because I already added in the top bottom. So first of all, it will be translate X0, translate Y0 whenever we are hovering that group. So that's in top label, it will be our group. So whenever we are hovering that group, translate X will be 2, Y will be 2. So it will be the top right corner direction. So in that instance, it will be like that. So if we just hover over it, anything happening? Yeah, as you see, that's happening. So now instead of putting it inside a div, I'm gonna put it in a tag. I'm gonna make an href, and which gonna be take us to my GitHub account in href, and also I'm gonna make a target, and that target, it will be blank. So now these all are the things we're gonna pass it to, like we're gonna just cut it, and I'm gonna paste it over here in the social link. And also I'm gonna copy that one, let's paste it over here. And now I'm gonna pass the social link, and it will be work just. So if you just to see, as you see, it's working just fine. And also we need to create some instances. Instead of this, I'm gonna just drag all the social links from there, as you see the title, and I'm gonna passing a link for that. So those are the things I am passing, and we need to take it inside as a props. And oh, by the way, so also we can actually change some other things also, because we're gonna pass a class name whenever we are a group, and hover, and the text, it will be white. So as you see, the text oops, it's just taking to my, yeah, as you see, it's giving that hover effect. And also in that over here, I'm gonna make a flex item center gap of 8, so it will be partialized in a way to align in a way. And also I'm gonna make item oops, it will be justify center, so it will keep everything in the center axis, as you see. So now we are having everything passing that, so we need to catch that over here. So let's catch it as a title and link. And first of all, I'm gonna pass that title, and then I'm gonna pass that link. And by the way, the icon will be same, so I'm gonna pass it as a type. Oops, it will be type props, and title, it will be string, and link, it will be string. And by the way, once you're putting that type, you need to put that equal sign, otherwise it will throw us another error. So now props is okay, and I believe once it reload the application, everything gonna be work just fine. As you see, our GitHub, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and everything working just fine. And if we go back to our smaller devices, let's see. Okay, working fine. I think we just need to add another property, which will be as flex wrap. So now after wrapping, after adding that flex wrap, whenever it will, oops, it will be just go back to that proportion, it's gonna scroll back. See? Now that also is working so smooth. And if I just click in my YouTube, let's see, yeah, it's taking to my channel. Now one more portion need to add is the bottom line. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create another one which called the footer.tsx rafce. And in that footer, I'm gonna just pass a text which I'm gonna give inside a p tag class, class name. It will be text, it will be sm, py, it will be chew. And also we need to, I think, contact js okay, social link okay, and we need to add footer. So after initializing, we're gonna be able to see our footer because we are using the wrapper, so it's gonna give us that all the design. So now as you see here, everything looking so fine. And now if you just initializing in our lower screen, as you see, that looks slick and perfect. It's a very simple application, like very simple website, but it's, you can make a little bit more handy, add some more props, and it will be looks more excellent in a way. So first of all, now our application is done, website is done. So if you just compare with it, I believe that one is looks better than the previous one. So now what we need to do, we need to initialize inside in our GitHub. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go, oops, I'm just inside my previous directory. So what we need to do, we need to create another portfolio because this portfolio will be available for everyone. I will make it as a public. So let's portfolio or YT. So that will be the portfolio for generic portfolio. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kill my terminal. Now I need to initialize the git on it. So let's git init. So the initialization will be happen. And also what I want to connect my that repository with that. So I need to put that git remote. So now let's add, oops, it will be git add dot to add everything inside here. And now git commit. So it will be initial commit. And now I want to push that. Oops, it will be git push u origin master. If here is my master, that's why I put master. If here is if you can find in the main in your terminal, you need to just push in the main. So now just make a hot reload. As you see, everything is available over here is portfolio for YT. So now let's hit back to my Vercel dashboard because we need to implement over here. We want to add a new project, and that project will be from GitHub. It's already interlinked. So if you initializing the first time in Vercel, it's gonna give you that option to add your GitHub on that. So let's import from that GitHub for YT. So let's deploy that one. So deploying in Vercel is very simple if you're using the Nextjs, and also in the React.js is very simple. Now you see it's fetching all the packages, resolving all the packages, and then it gonna give you a production build. And of course that production build is happening from the Nextjs 13.4. So just let's give it a little bit of time to resolve the portion. And as you see, you can see the info detected at 13.4.4, and it's running that yarn run build. If you're using npm, it will run that npm run build. So everything is still looks pretty fine. Okay. Now as you see, done in 24.2. So within 24 seconds, my deployment is done. Okay. So now it's just deploying the output. So its build is completed. So I believe it's almost done. So let's just give it a time to finish everything, all the procedures. So as you see, I am now in my dashboard. My net is slow. That's why it's taking a bit of time, and everything is successful. So let's continue to dashboard. And now if I just click over here, I'm gonna see my site is running with an HTTPS and with a valid, like you can pass that to anyone to see your website. So it's initial time. I think it's taking a bit of time because of my internet connection, but for you maybe it will be much faster. Let's cut it again, load again. Let's see. As you see, everything just very much fine. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you that repo link in the description. You can just download or you can just clone it, and then don't forget to give a star rating on that. Just put a hidden star, and I'm gonna give a star it. So now after that, you just like npm install or yarn add. So it's gonna just npm install or yarn, and then it's gonna install all the dependencies. And then once you initialize, you're gonna just come over here, and then you can just modify everything and so on. And if you are new in my channel, just remember, if you like that portfolio, I have been created like this portfolio, and also like this simple similar everything like that portfolio, and this one, also this one. So all the portfolio in my channel, whatever portfolio you like, you may create, and you can find your own platform. And if you have any doubt, if you cannot create, let me know. I'm gonna give you the link in the description for that GitHub repo, and you can initialize your own portfolio as your own. So hope you can create that one. And if you have any suggestion, any improvement or anything, let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you in next video.